And I welcome you back to the Dobrinic channel. Today we are talking about Lake Oroville and many more lakes. I have added more lakes to California, so stick around for that. You're going to be surprised. Some of you have suggested this, that, and the other, and I had time today to fix them up, so we will be getting those here in a bit. We're going to be talking about the weather first and foremost. We are at Tropical Tidbits, and it is already starting to rain. We'll be looking at the live radar here in a minute, and you can see that this rain's going to continue. We are already 2 days in, the 12-hour mark. We keep on scooting the 18-hour mark. 3 days in, still raining at the 18-hour mark over here in California, and it continues to rain there, snow and rain, and we're 4 days in and more snow and rain, more coming down the pike here, and it keeps raining, and we're already 6 days in, and you can see it might start to finally clear up a little bit. The other day the models were suggesting 14 days in a row of rain. We're on the 7th, but you're going to get possibly 6 days of rain, and then it clears out, and then on the 9th you have another system that's going to be hitting California next Saturday possibly, and it snows and rains some more with another system coming back on the back burner on the 10th, and you can see that it really starts to intensify and more precipitation coming on the 11th and the 12th, and it keeps on raining there, and you could see that it finally dies down some on the 14th, and then it starts to clear out. Some snow in the Colorado Rockies here, a low pressure of 107 there, and then so the models have, like I said the other night, you can't get too hung up on these long range because they change all the time, and we are at the end, and you can see it might start to dry out towards the middle of the month. So we'll see if that comes to pass. The first part of the month is going to be extremely wet. Let's go see what the numbers are currently. We'll go to windy.com now. We roll out for the last 12 hours. You can see it's been raining over Oroville quite a bit over the last 12 hours, and it continues to rain over and over. So we'll be watching this to see. You can see not a whole lot down here towards Los Angeles, San Diego. Everything's moving up towards Reno and Truckee, and we scoot in towards like South Lake Tahoe, Tahoe City. You can see they're getting in on the action. We go over to Oroville. Oroville's not too wet. Let's go out to the live feed and see what's going on there. You can see it's comes and goes. We'll go to the live feed now and see what's going on at Lake Oroville next. We are currently looking at the live feed. You can see the moisture. You can see the clouds literally moving here. If you look, it's pretty crazy to watch. You can see the clouds moving in real time. Them clouds are cooking past. But we are looking live at Lake Oroville. No rain currently at the lake. And let's go back to windy.com and see what's going on. As we roll back out, you can see over the next 10 days, the Europeans calling for about 7 inches possibly, or 6.24 in East Quincy over Berry Creek, 4.2, Big Red, 4.15, Caribou, 5.72. Now, we go to the GFS and see what the difference is. They're calling for quite a bit more. So, Berry Creek, 6.34, Oroville itself, 4.39 according to this, 5.01 at Paradise, Caribou's calling for 7 inches, East Quincy, 8.32, Portal, 6.57. We go up to Chester, 6.33. Let's go over to Mount Shasta next. And Mount Shasta, we're talking about 5.05. We go to the European, and they're calling for 4.92. We go back to Trinity, 5.26 is what they're calling for there. And we go there, the same spot, 3.96. So you see a difference. They're definitely not agreeing. Let's go down to New Bullards Bar, 5.5, New Bullards Bar Watershed. We can see that 5.64, and the GFS is calling for 8.09. We go down to the American River over here, and you can see 8.98, but the Europeans only calling for 7. So still quite a bit of precipitation anyway you slice it or dice it. Let's check the new snow, and we'll check both models as well. You can see that 97 for the European, the GFS is calling for 95. We go up here, we come back over here to Caribou, 76 for the GFS and 54. So some of this is going to be rain, some of it's going to be snow, just depending on 77. Now they were over 100 at one point in time. There's 102. Truckee's going to get 83, but just to the west of there, 102 possibly. So we'll be waiting to see. South Lake Tahoe, 77 inches. Bear Valley, 92 inches. That is is a ton. We go to the GFS and they're calling for 92 there as well. So you could see like South Lake Tahoe 77. We go to the European and they're calling for 77. So they're in agreements to a degree. Come up here to Mount Shasta, 50 according to the European and 54 according to the GFS. So the rain, they're differing on. The snow, they're pretty much in agreements with. And I want to go down here towards Clear Lake. Clear Lake's 6.7. We go to Berryessa, 0.6 inches of snow. 0.3 according to the snow. We go back to the rain accumulation. They're calling for 3 inches, and this lake's running really high, so we'll be looking at that here in a minute. A little spoiler alert. We go to Sacramento, 2.4. We go up to Yuba City. Hello to my friend out there, Steve. I hope all is well. 2.08, and the GFS is calling for 2.85. So you're going to receive a ton of precipitation. I want to go down to my friends down in Bakersfield, 0.57 there, and the Europeans calling for 0.6. My friends over at Havasu, 0 inches. And we go to the GFS, 0 inches. So no rain for you guys over there. And we'll be watching this. And we'll probably be back Monday or Tuesday with the lake meet update. It's supposed to be nice. And I got some yard work to do today. So we'll be back. Let's go check out the new lake. We're going to start off at Lake Berryessa in California. Check what the glory hole is. Somebody recommended it the other day, so I said, sure, why not? As we roll out to Lake Berryessa, you could see that the water level is 436.41 feet, and in 23 it was at 414.63, and 22 in that real drought year 409.97, but 436.41 feet, and that was Friday, March 1st, 2024 at 1 p.m. The level is 3.59 feet below full pool of 440. Changes since yesterday, the lake is up 0.03 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is also up 0.57 feet over the last 7 days. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 5.10 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 10.51 feet. Over the last 120, the lake is up 14.63 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 21.78 feet. Now, they don't have any inflows or outflows, so we'll go to the 3-year bar graph. They do have them, but they're like 6 days behind, and that's unacceptable to put in a YouTube video, in my opinion. Unless somebody knows where I can get those inflows, outflows currently, I haven't been able to find it online, so this is the best I got for now. We go to the 3-year bar graph next. And the 3-year bar graph, we're looking at 440 as your full pool, 409.97 as stated earlier, 2022 last year, 414.63 and 436.41 feet. We're getting close to that glory hole. The percentage of capacity at Lake Berryessa is 92.57%, and we are going up to Trinity next, and I have more new lakes, so don't be thinking that was the only one. I got one more new lake and one that I've showed in the past, so we'll go to Trinity next, and we're off there now. As we roll out to Lake Trinity, the current water level is 2,325.10 feet, and I put these here so I'm not confused anymore. I messed up the other night on a video, just so you guys are aware, and I'm aware as well, so I know which line's what. It's kind of confusing. So the water level is currently 2,325.10 feet, and that was Friday, March 1st, 2024 at 12 p.m. The level is 44.90 feet below full pool of 2,370. Changes since yesterday, the lake is up 0.41 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is up 2.27 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 10.17 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 21.67 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is up 46.95 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 94.29 feet. Your inflows are currently 6,868. Your outflows, of course, 0. They're not releasing any. They have before, so don't be thinking that it's always like that. That is not the case. They just don't do it as often as other lakes do it. That's all I can say about that. We go to the 3-year bar graph. 2,229.40 in 2022. Last year we were looking at 2,230.81 feet. Today we're at 2,325.10 feet. Percentage of capacity 72.68%. And let's go over to Shasta next. As we roll out to Lake Shasta, the current water level is 1,038.19 feet, and that was Friday, March 1st, 2024 at 1 p.m. The level is 28.81 feet below full full pool of 1,067. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 0.23 feet over the last 24 hours. It's also down over the last 7 days, 5.83 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 1.29 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 4.86 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is up 24.52 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 41.52 feet. Your inflows are currently 13,682. Your outflows are 9,990. Your 3-year bar graph, 938.43 feet in 2022, 996.67 feet last year. This year, we're looking at 1,038.19 feet. And percentage of capacity, we are at 82.26%. And let's roll over to a new one. We will call it New Bullards Bar Reservoir. That's where we're headed to next. As we roll out to New Bullards Bar Reservoir, the current water level is 1,917.42. I'll have to update this just a little bit more. And that was on Friday, March 1st, 2024 at 12 p.m. The level is 38.48 feet below full pool of 1,955. I want to thank Steve for the video that I was able to get the screenshot from. Thank you, Steve, for that. And Steve is a wonderful man. He's helped out the channel tremendously. So if anybody else wants to help out the channel as well, feel free to comment below. We can share our contact information. Changes since yesterday, the lake is up 0.90 feet. So it's come up almost a whole foot in a day. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 8.74 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 24.45 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is up 22.95 feet. Over the last year, the lake is also up 0.71 feet. Your inflows at New Bullards Bar is 4,039. Your outflows are 3,325. As we roll out to your 3-year bar graph, 1,955 is your full pool level. In 2022, we were looking at 1,885.29 feet. Last year, we were looking at 1,916.17 feet, and today we're at 1,917.42 feet. Percentage of capacity is 82.03%. Let's roll down to Lake Folsom next. As we roll out to Lake Folsom, your current water level is 428.72 feet. And that was Friday, March 1st, 2024 at 1 p.m. The level is 37.28 feet below full pool of 466 feet. Changes since yesterday, the lake is down 0.20 feet. In the last 7 days, the lake is down 1.69 feet. In the last 14 days, the lake is up 1.12 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 7.64 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 7.64 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is up 6.55 feet. Over the last year, the lake is also up 4.14 feet. Your inflows are currently 6,561. Your outflows are 4,426. 3-year bar graph, 419.42 feet in 2022. Last year, we were looking at 424.58 feet. Today, we're at 428.72 feet, and percentage of capacity is currently 61.61%. Now we'll go over to Lake Tahoe next. As we roll out to Lake Tahoe, your current water level is 6,227.75 feet, and that was Friday, March 1st, 2024 at 1 p.m. The level is 1.25 feet below full pool of 6,229. Changes since yesterday, the lake is up 0.15 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is also up 0.17 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 0.32 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is also up 0.48 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is up 0.54 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 3.11 feet. And we go to your 3-year graph. 6,229 is the full pool level. Now, I know this is a natural lake. They did put in more storage by adding a spillway, and that's your full pool level, 6,229. In 2022, we were looking at 6,223.93 feet. Last year, we're looking at 6,224.64 feet, and of course, today we're at 6,227.75 feet. Down to the final stop, Lake Oroville. I hope you guys like the new graphs and new lakes. I probably have room for maybe one more down the pike, so give me a few more suggestions that I can get some good lakes to go to. Lake Oroville next. As we roll out to Lake Oroville, the current water level is 860.55 feet, and as you can see, they're releasing water. Down the dam it goes, and that was Friday, March 1st, 2024 at 1 p.m. The level is 39.45 feet below 900. Changes since yesterday. The lake's actually up 0.16 feet over the last 24 hours. However, the lake is also down 1.80 feet over the last 7 days. The lake is up 9.68 feet over the last 14 days and up 18.04 feet over the last 30 days. Over the last 120 days, the lake is up 41.20 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 26.83 feet. Your inflows are 15,073. Your outflows are 6,049. 3-year bar graph in 2022, we were looking at 746.53 feet. Last year, we were looking at 833.72 feet. Today, we're at 860.55 feet. And percentage of capacity, 83.46%. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. We will be back in a day or two. If this rain continues, if these lakes encounter any problems, I'll definitely be back for that. And you guys have a blessed day, and we will talk to you very soon. God bless.